and all are finding their way. And
Yeah.
and I some of us are like popcorn in the pan. You know,
Are you that crusty one in the bottom,
there's a
Shree?
few
What are
kernels
you,
that
baby?
just don't give it up. You know.
Well, we don't say that people are awakening to spirit. We say that they're exploding in this energy.
That's more what it looks like today. It's explosions into spirit. Their whole life changes
I
overnight.
love that. It's so true. It is an explosion. I love that.
Well, now speak to that. In terms of of your circle of interaction, have you seen a growing acceptance, a widening of?
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, in the beginning, the group gave me the choice. They said, basically I picked up this Cryon book at this time, and I had seen somebody else bringing through a message that very much resonated with me, and I started calling myself a channel. And they said, you have a choice. You do not have to call it a channel. We will completely honor you if you stand up and speak as Steve Rother and not Steve Rother in the group. And I had a choice. And in the beginning, I met all kinds of resistance. I'll never forget being on a plane one time and actually telling a lady what I did, and she wouldn't look at me the rest of the journey. She went into fear.
What a great lesson, though. Don't we love how these lessons come to us? And thank goodness.
Well, and finally I had to come to the realization that I was on my way to speak for the third time at the United Nations in Vienna. So what do I have to be ashamed of?
Exactly.
Yeah. And it was the public acceptance and the fear around the whole channeling thing. But I believe all inspiration comes from the same place. I call mine a channel. I bring through mine verbally, but many people bring their channeling through music. Many people bring their channeling through artwork, some through healing,
through science, like we were talking about earlier,
Absolutely.
Einstein and others.
I think there's a fundamental demonstration of authenticity that is the true lesson here. I remember we were looking for a book agent, and there was we were honored that one individual who was quite well known and well placed said to us, I can get your books published, but I want you to drop all reference to Archangel Zadkiel and to the channeled information. I want you to just write the information. And we had that same choice, Steve, is that we felt it would be out of integrity because we wanted to disclose the truth of our experience.
And I'll never forget the people that said, Shree, we need to put you in an Armani suit and cut your hair. And after you had just grown your hair. When I met Shree, he did not have long hair.
I spent my whole life conforming, and I said,
I want
my moment
so
of just let it be me.
You were adorable.
Good for you. Good for you. You look marvelous the way you are, too, both of you. You look very happy. Awesome.
Bless your heart.
I wanted to share really quickly, too, about science. You said science. We tell a story quite often in our channeling courses about Einstein. He would work with his physics and his chalkboard. That was kind of his technology of the day.
Right.
But he would always get to these points where he gets stuck. And he would sit down and take a nap. And he had a chair that he would take a nap in, very short naps. But he would also have this rock. And he would hold this rock while he took the nap and let it hang off the edge of the chair. And when he reached a state where he'd start to fall into a deep sleep, he'd drop the rock.
Right.
Yeah.
That would wake him up, and he would have the answer to his questions. He would see it from a totally different. That is what I call a channeling tool. Very simple.
Absolutely.
Awareness state.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting because Salvador Dali did the same thing.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, we were in Florida at a event where we were appearing, and we went to the Dali Museum afterwards. And they said he would stay awake for days in order to get these crazy visions, that he painted the melting alarm clocks and all that. And when he got tired, he would sit in the chair with a spoon in his hand, and if the spoon dropped, it meant he had to get up and paint.
That's perfect.
Well,
it is perfect. I love that. I love it. It brings it down to the inspiration and to allowing the flow. Each being, the way that we receive messages is as unique as each individual is.
Yes.
And this is why there can't be a right or a wrong way, because there's 7 billion unique ways of receiving information. It's how we surrender and harness our heart to deliver that information that offers a presence that will hopefully inspire others to find that gift within themselves.
That's it. That's the age of empowerment we're walking into. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And aren't we grateful we're all still alive? I'm so excited we're still here.
It was a close call.
No kidding.
More than one.
Exactly. every day I'm
everybody
like, I'm glad we hung around.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody has the ability to channel, though. You know, people used to come up to me and say, well, Barbara, you're always so close to Steve in the group. Do you channel as well? And I used to say, oh, no, not me. He has the gift. And then I thought, wait a minute. I've always had this strong women's intuition. That's channeling.
That is.
And now I know that, of course, I'm channeling my own source. And I even think that I'm part of the group, because somebody asked, how come the group chose Steve and not Barbara? And what did the group come back and say?
Group came back and said, "Who said we chose Steve?"
Exactly.
I think
Yeah,
chose both of us.
for sure.
But
Because
Steve
the
has
two of you, I
ability.
mean, let's look at your amazing story. You two meet when you're 16 and you get married and you've been together, whether you were conscious of it at that time or not, which, sometimes we're not in the early stages. You got together for this mission, and it's both of you, just like with Shri and I. I always say that Shri is the one who's really doing this. I'm just the body.
It's been an amazing journey. Of course, when you're married for a very long time, it's not, she's not the same person that I married. I'm not the same person she married. We evolve. We go through different processes. And I don't mean to say to anybody that a long-term marriage is better than a short-term marriage.
No.
I know many people who've been in a relationship too long, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, no, that's true.
But it's the quality of it. And if your relationship can go through those points where two people can grow together, now you've got magic. And that's we give a course, but we don't call it relationship. We call it a relation shift. SIS.
I love it. I love it.
Right.
Because
well,
that's
the main
what's
thing
needed.
is giving support, and there's no spiritual competition between us. And I know, like you two, I can feel that you support each other and respect each other.
That's the balance.
Absolutely, because balance is where we find our harmony. And, you can find that balance without a partner, or you can find it with a partner. And sometimes finding your balance with a partner can actually be a little more challenging.
Yes.
Well, let's just say there's always a witness.
Be very rewarding.
I want to come back to the one of the topics from earlier on, and that is the how do you ensure that what you're receiving is of a quality that brings, that opens your heart. I guess what I'm saying is not doubting the group, but there are many people that have come to you for training.
Yep.
How do you help them set up the guidelines and the guideposts?
First thing I tell them is don't follow me, very simply. We try to awaken people's inner sense of themselves. Everybody has that within them. We have forgotten it while we're playing this game of pretending to be a human, which is the title of my last book.
Oh, I love it.
And basically we're playing this wonderful game like you talk about, putting this veil on, forgetting who we are, and coming down here and bumping into each other and calling this good and this bad and this right and this wrong. And all of it is an illusion. And if we can get people to hear their own inner voices, there's no doubt. And that's really where this is. So how do I do it? The group said, it's none of your business what people think of you.
I love the group.
Find your way.
None of your business what people think of you. It's only your business to make sure that your heartstrings are in integrity with you. Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
And that was it. So that's basically something I had to learn, because the first thing you do when you stand on a stage is you want to please the people that you're standing in front of.
Well, sure, it's a natural desire, yeah.
Yes. So I had to learn that. Very difficult lesson in the beginning for me.
I suspect, Barbara, you got the sideline version of that, meaning if Steve's on stage, what are they asking you?
Well, when we're presenting, I'm on stage, we do this dance together, we present together,
we do.
And people love it because Steve is such a strong male force bringing forth this powerful information, and I am there as this strong woman, but I bring it in a softer sense of this is the way as humans understand all this information.
So I stand up there and give this 20-minute message, and then she wraps the whole thing up in a better message in about 4 seconds. It's really
that sounds like Shri and I.
Well, there's a balance there.
It is like a dance, but we encourage people to follow themselves and not follow the leader. And above all, there's no more secrets anymore. Everything is out in the open, and we're
Exactly.
living in the time of integrity.
Some of our greatest teachings come from our failures. Very simple.
Oh,
So
well said. And some, I like to say, the bigger the failure, the bigger the ego that caused it.
There you go.
Which we need to find our surrender. It's so essential.
Well, why don't we surrender into another caller or so?
Yeah, we
Sure.
have other people standing by. We'd like to include them in the conversation.
Sure.
So let's go to line 5, John from New Jersey. Oh, welcome to the show.
Namaste, John. Welcome.
Namaste. Your guests today are absolutely phenomenal.
Thank
I've been
you.
listening to them and have really, as usual, enjoyed your content and your show today. Really, what I had hoped to accomplish today really was just thank you guys, Shri and Kira, for the courage to follow your conviction and the courage that you've shown with the challenges that you faced in your life, and for providing so much inspiration. You've made Sundays for my wife Karen and I very enjoyable. I've been wanting to make this phone call to you guys for a while just to say thank you for the way you treat your listeners, for the way you treat your guests, for all the things that you do on a daily and weekly basis. Please keep it up. If the world had more folks like you in it, I think it'd be a much better place. And I just really wanted to say thanks. And I've enjoyed your show today immensely, as usual. And if you had time to give me a quick soul reading, I would really appreciate that.
Well, that's Kira's department. I just want to mirror back to you how lovely that you have shared this gratitude. It warms my
Yeah.
heart, and I thank you for your courage.
Well, John, I just want to also.
It's my pleasure. Believe me, it really is.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. And, I have tears in my eyes, but I realize that they're not just tears of appreciation for you and for your own journey. You are growing so much. When you asked for the mini soul reading, I mean, I could hear it. I could hear that it was going to come in. However, I want you to take a moment if you can. They're placing my hands are on my shoulders right now. That might seem kind of silly, but if you can take your fingers and is that what I'm doing, Shri? I mean, I'm just having Shri.
Touch your shoulders.
Yeah. Just touch your shoulders right now with your fingers. And then as you do, if it's safe to close your eyes, I want you to do that. I want you to take in a deep breath. And when you relax out the breath, I want you to smile and release your hands. Just smile and release your hands. And they're saying all you need to know is to let go of that which feels hard and smile into the breath of the universe. And you are getting all of that back 1,000-fold. Just relax more, release more, and smile often. And they're saying that is your little magic pill in the moment. And so that's all I can offer you, because they're saying that's all you need to hear. And Steve, is there anything you would want to add to that?
I just want to tell John that he's a teacher. He has come to Earth to basically tell a story, and we can't wait for it. It is safe to tell it now. So enjoy this
All
journey.
right.
Well, can I tell you one more thing real quick?
Sure,
just so
honey.
you know, Shri and Kira, you brought tears of joy to my eyes, and thank you so much for that.
Awesome.
You're very welcome, Angel. Smile, breathe and smile, and let it be easy. Namaste.
I sure will.
All right.
Many blessings. And while we're in this wonderful flow of chatting with callers, let's head over to New York and say hi to Lee.
Namaste, Lee. Welcome to Shri and Kira.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart.
Namaste.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I'm
Lee.
surprised.
Our pleasure. How can we serve you today?
I would like to have a mini soul reading.
Okay. I hear that. You know what? Take your hand to your heart real quick. And as you do, I wanted to share with you right now, as I connect with you, there's a sense of, it's funny, I wanted to use the word fear, but they're saying hesitancy, and that it's very important for you right now to allow yourself, and by the way, number 2, all around you, to let go of hesitancy as you're experiencing moving forward. They're saying that, it's always just, we have 2 feet, we have 2 hands, we have 2 eyes, we have 2 ears, and they're saying use them all. And this is why the number 2 is all around you right now. It's about the fullness of everything that's going on. And as you move forward over the next 2 weeks, moving into the next 2 years, there is a sense of expansion. And they're saying, welcome this. Do not be afraid of it. That there is a huge expansion coming forward for you right now. And so just let it happen. Try not to resist. Try not to be hesitant with anything. And I want you to take in a deep breath and just feel that come in. Feel that washing into you. And as you do, there's all this crystalline light. Like I'm wiping my eyes. Shree's looking at me. I'm wiping my eyes because all I'm seeing, it looks like little crystal stars all around you. And they're saying, enjoy the ride and let it be easy and flow. And so just take in a breath and feel that. And Steve or Barbara, did you want to share anything else with our beautiful caller?
I totally agree with you. I am feeling the hesitation, and what I'd like you to encourage you to do is stand in front of a mirror, a full-length mirror if you have it, and just observe yourself, your posture. If you are standing there with your arms kind of forward, your shoulders forward, just take a deep breath and pull your shoulders back and feel your strength enter your body and present yourself to the world like that. Because how we feel about ourselves is how others will see us, perceive us. So stand tall and let others see you, how you chose, how you choose to be seen to everyone around you.
I'd simply have to agree with what's been said so far. You're closer than you think. You're relearning how to look at life. You're letting go of some of the things you learned as a young child, and it's beautiful. Keep it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Thank you for calling, Lee. We send you our love and encouragement, and we know that all is truly well for you. Well,
Okay,
beloved
thank you,
listeners, we're running into the top of the hour.
How does
just
that
like
happen?
We ran into the top of the half hour.
We just keep running.
We're moving, folks.
We are moving.
And so I'd like to just kind of head over to Barbara, and if you'd like to offer any closing words to our listeners, and then Steve, let's take a little roundtable benediction here.
Well, I am just so happy to join everyone today. There's a reason why we all connect, and I want everyone to just go with your truth and your heart, and above all, have a smile each day when you wake up, and your day will be better for that.
None of us carry all the message. We all carry a little fragment of it, and it's really beautiful when we can connect like this and share light. And it's absolutely magical. We have a word that the group gave me as kind of a greeting, and it's called a spavo. And basically it means thank you for taking your power. A spavo, everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And to our listeners, I want to remind you, you can learn more about Steve and Barbara at lightworker.com, and they have other websites as well. We want to send our sincere appreciation to you, Steve, and to you, Barbara, for taking the time to ignite the fire.
And for saying yes to your mission, for walking through everything and being such an extraordinary gift to the planet.
And to all of you listening, we want to just say we love you. Take a deep breath in and know that all is truly well. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week. Namaste.